Countdown continues this morning for Blue Origin space launch in West Texas when Gayle King and 5 other women who will be on this flight spent the weekend preparing. We should note, of course, NASA crew members who get into space get much longer training, but this is about the new frontier, space tourism. CBS News space consultant Bill Harwood has covered dozens of space flights, and he joins us now. Bill, so glad to have you here. It's funny when you think about it that a lot of people's commute to work is going to be longer than the commute up to space. Right. And yet this one matters a whole heck of a lot more. Talk about this in context.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, it's a short flight, 10 minutes, right? I was just speaking with one of our guests today about, she had flown on the New Shepard earlier, and I said, is it really worth it for a 10-minute flight? And she said, absolutely. She said the view of Earth from there is mind-altering and life-changing to her, and she said to other people who fly on these vehicles. I mean, I've jumped out of an airplane a couple of times, and I always describe that as it's the ultimate if you're in search of a thrill, right?
Yes, yes.
I think this definitely tops that. I think this is the thrill of a lifetime.
We heard in the report earlier that they were now filling the rocket with propellant, which, I mean, that sent a tingle down my spine for sure.
Well, liquid hydrogen, it's that stuff definitely lights and burns.
One of the things we were talking about before we came back here was what this actually is in that length. You talk about the length of when they go up and by the time they get back down, but from start to when they go into that capsule to when this is over, this is a long process and a lot of times delays, almost always a delay.
Yeah, I think in just about every New Shepard flight we've seen to date, there will be unexpected delays and holes where the engineers are making sure they understand everything they see and all the data and telemetry coming from the rocket. And we seldom know the exact reason. The countdown will stop and then it'll just resume again. So we should all be prepared for that. They might not go on time, but they always come fairly close.
Well, Bill, that would be in keeping with the tradition of Alan Shepard, first American in space, namesake of the rocket. Famous story, he was up there for long enough because of a hold with NASA that he told them there was going to be a different kind of launch. He relieved himself in the spacesuit. This is true story,
when you gotta go.
When you gotta go. Look, I can't hold it any longer. But the weightlessness, let's talk about that. It's about 3 minutes. It's rarely experienced. I think you had a similar experience with the vomit comet, they call it, on these giant flights. What's it like?
It's indescribable. And for the New Shepard flight, they become weightless as soon as they separate from that booster. So they're still coasting upward, go over the top of the trajectory and start down. So they're weightless during that entire period. I can't even describe what that's like. It's not like floating, in a swimming pool, neutrally buoyant or something. It is the most delightful feeling you can imagine. And I think about people who've been on the space station. They're there 6 months at a time. Or you think about Butch and Sonny on this Starliner flight that were, up there for 9 months. I can't even imagine coming back to gravity. It seems like it would be such a drag. It's like,
that's the feeling That's the feeling I would want to have. Maybe not the G's that you have to experience going up and coming down, but that part, yes.
No, I don't want these cheeks. The skin's falling off.
Don't mess with the face.
Feel ageless in space. Bill Harwood, your knowledge is peerless, and you're going to be with us in the 9 o'clock hour following all this. If there's a hold, we're going to go to you. You just keep talking.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Bill.